For this video, we're going to use our oil pastels to make a calm mood by using a smooth mark making technique. I used blue, light and dark blue, and a white. You can use other colors if you want to, that's fine. If I head over here to my other ball, trace something around your house, whether it's a water bottle, a tape, whatever, the bottom of a cup, so that you have a nice circle. I have a sunshine up here because this sun, if you see on my example ball, this sun is going to be shining a light and making a light area on our ball, having a darker area on the opposite side, and eventually casting a shadow. If you can look here, you don't have to draw these lines unless you think it would help you. I drew a couple light lines here to remind myself that, hey, this is a sphere. Spheres show form or a 3D aspect of drawing. So I need to make sure I'm shading with that form. So I'm going to apply my pastel in this kind of curvy motion. What I'm going to do is, I want to make sure I have my white pastel ready. I have my dark blue ready to go, and my light blue. Okay, I've cleaned them in case I'd use them with other colors so that they are ready to go and not mess up anything that I don't want there. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is start in my white area. With pastels, you want to start off lightly, basically just putting a ground area of pastel. Okay, I'm not pushing super hard. It almost looks like crayon right now, and that's fine. Set that to the side. Let's lay a little bit of our light blue. Okay, I'm adding with this curve. Again, not pushing super hard. You're just kind of getting some pastel on there to lay the foundation. You see all these little black marks? That's from drawing my grid, and that's fine. This is a practice activity. So if I see those, I'm not going to worry too much. Okay. Lastly, I'm going to add a little bit of my dark blue. You can really see that paper showing through. Eventually, we don't want to see any paper at all. And, just to build it up to get rid of that. Okay, so I have my curve going. I have it starting to look a little bit 3D with that light versus shadow area. At this point, I want to add a little bit more pastel. I'm going to start with the light blue just because it touches both of the other colors. I'm going to still, go somewhat lightly. Just add a little bit more in there, maybe jumping into the white a little bit and into the blue a little bit. Your pastels will naturally pick up some of the other colors, so that might be something that works for you, or it might be something that you have to work around. So I'm not pushing too much harder, but you can see that the pastel is starting to blend itself. I don't suggest blending with your finger, because what that does is it kind of like lumps the little areas of pastel, and it looks like little piles of pastel in the end. So let the pastels do all the work for you. Okay, I'm going to keep this part up here nice and white. When I'm finished with adding the extra white there, I'll go down here and start moving into the blue. And I'll avoid this area just so I keep it nice and white. Okay, moving down a little bit more. Can you see how you're starting to get away from that paper look? That's what we want. Get back with our pastels. Once you have a decent amount on here, you can move some of the stuff that you've already added. Like if I don't like this white, I can press a little harder and overtake it with my blue. Our goal is to have a white to light blue smooth transition though, so I'm going to just add it gently. Okay, start working down here a little bit. Sorry for my wiggly camera. All right. Jump to my dark blue. Now this is starting to look like a line of color, and we'll get to that in a moment. Let me just fill in some of this other area so I don't see that paper anymore. The edges, if you see mine is looking a little fuzzy, that's okay. On oil pastels, you typically make the edge sharper by adding a second color to it. All right, so I'm gonna go extra light to go into this light blue, light pressure. Come back in with this Now it's starting to blend a little bit more. Okay, so we have white, a little bit of light blue mixed with white, light blue mixed with dark, and dark blue. To finish this up, I'm going to add a little bit of an edge. And if we're thinking about our faces for our self-portrait, this would be like your background touching the edge of your face or the edge of your hair. Taking my time. If you know that's going to be a solid color, you can press somewhat hard right away. Some of that blue is getting picked up and moved, so if you don't like that, take a moment, clean off your pastel, and keep going. If it gets super short, you can rip the paper off, that's fine. Go around here. Oh, there's a little bit of blue. That's okay, my shadow's gonna go there anyway. To do a shadow, you could pick black. You could also pick something extra dark, like dark green, dark blue. Unfortunately, we don't have purples in our packs. If you add some black, mix it with something else. Black tends to get very flat looking, and if you do all this work in making something 3D, if you have an area of your artwork that looks very flat, it just kind of throws the whole thing off. So although there's a lot of black there, I'm going to go over and blend it with some blue. Come back in here. All right. I could finish that top part, but this is what we're really working with in the end. So now that I have a smooth look to my ball, this would be more of like a calm technique.